The morning that it happened there had been no warning. At least according to virtually all credible sources among the survivors. Naturally, there were those who claimed in retrospect to have seen signs that might have provided advance notice. But those accounts, it has been determined, are likely nothing more than instances of pareidolia, not unlike the perception of images in the shapes of clouds. What is almost universally accepted is that it began on the summer solstice at precisely noon GMT in Greenwich itself, on the prime meridian that ran, at the time, through the courtyard of the old Royal Observatory in London. When the sun is at its zenith, the clock is set at noon, and many of those on holiday have stood with one foot on each side of that line of demarcation so that, in an odd twist of the original phrase, they could be photographed being in two times at the same place. Multiple witnesses have confirmed that a tourist, his name is not known, so we shall refer to him as Subject Zero, was straddling the two-tone steel ribbon embedded in the cobblestones that denotes longitude 000. And it was at that exact moment when our star reached the apogee of its arc across the sky that it occurred. Just before, all was as normal as it can be at an English destination. And in the next instant, everything changed. Subject Zero's sister, who was standing in the previous hour, snapped a commemorative picture, then stared at the frozen image on her screen, unable to process what she saw there. Shaking herself loose from that impossible visage, she raised her eyes to gaze on her brother, who indeed was still astride the meridian, fully clothed on her side of the line and fully naked on the other. It appeared as if he was wearing half a suit of clothes severed vertically down the middle. Those who later examined the clothing reported that it appeared as though it had been cut with a laser. So straight and fine was the edge of the separation. Subject Zero himself, focusing on presenting a foolish expression for his friends back home, was momentarily unaware that anything was amiss. It was the combination of his sister's shocked stare and the slight breeze tickling his windward side that caused him to look down, freeze in incomprehension, then leap back away from the meridian toward his sister, jostled by his movement. The clothes on his leeward side fell off, leaving him fully exposed, but also offering the first indication that, other than his pride, Subject Zero was unharmed. Before either of them could begin to parse what had happened, their attention was jolted to shouts of alarm, mostly coming from beyond the meridian on the leading hour side to the west. There, the scene was an experiment in chaos. Everyone, as far as the eye could see, was completely naked, looking frantically around in terror and beginning to run toward the trailing hour side where everyone was still clothed.